Walk-off winners. Twins take game one over KC thanks to Ty France's homer in the bottom of the ninth. Final score 3-1. Full deep dive coming up next on the Minnesota Twins Postcast.
This is the Twins Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Minnesota Twins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on? Back in the lab, back at it. Another Minnesota Twins Postcast episode right here on the Locked On Sports Minnesota Network, your team every day. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. Got my main man, CJ Baumgartner. Give him a follow on X at BaumCJ30. Twins expert over at Zone Coverage. And man, let's just start right here, CJ. Walk-off winners today. Always fun. Love the dramatics at home at Target Field. 15-2 though in their last 17. Does it feel like this is the real, true, accurate version of the Twins? You know, we've gotten these last 20 games or so, or is it more like last year that, you know, they had that great streak, but it ended up turning out to be more of a mirage?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was just about to say, it kind of feels like almost bar for bar from what a year ago was, where the slow start, big, I mean, literally identical winning streaks. And then, yeah, I mean, in the middle of the year, the Twins were one of the best teams in baseball. And I think right now they're playing like that. And obviously, again, last year they played like about half of it as the worst team in baseball, and they played the other half as the best team in baseball. So I don't know, like it's really hard to gauge. At this point, I'm just going to assume pretty much everything's going exactly like it is last year. And we just kind of hope that September goes the exact opposite direction.
Yeah, just the way they drew it up. Let's be the worst team in baseball the first 5 weeks, and then let's be the best team in baseball. Just the way you draw it up. That's the blueprint every coach has heading into the season. Lots to get into. Biggest turning point from this game, the game MVP, a game 2 preview tomorrow. But first, quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to us by Game Time. Game Time. Download that Game Time app. You create an account. You use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. All right, so quick little recap in case you missed it. Twins starting this 3-game series with Kansas City tonight at home. Always huge whenever you're playing a division rival. Pablo on the mound, 7 hits for Pablo, but just 1 earned run, got out of a few jams, 5 2/3 innings. And then in comes this just lights out bullpen, man. Brock Stewart, Louis Varland, Griffin Jacks, Cole Sands, ring them up, sit them down. They were fantastic. 9th inning, all tied up, 1 apiece. Ty France hits the walk-off winner, 403-foot bomb, by the way, to left center, and he helps the Twins win game 1. They are 28-22 now on the year, 6 games above 500. Why don't we just start with your biggest takeaways, your kind of 8 topics, I guess. What stuck out the most today during this walk-off winner?
Carlos Correa coming back and looking really good. Made some nice defensive plays, turned a really good double play. But I mean, first swing of this since coming back off the concussion list, and hits one into the bullpen. And I know it was caught, but he also hit another one deep warning track in right center field, legged out an infield single. It's always kind of tough, obviously, when guys come back from injuries to know how good they're going to be or how quick they can jump back in. But especially with a concussion, we just know that can always be murky. So for him to come back in and just have a really good game 1, and overall, I think was just the biggest sign to see that when you have a star player come off the IL, to have that first game back and really first at-bat back to hit that home run, it's really important.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Maybe this is just the obvious answer here, the walk-off winner, or maybe you can, dig a little deeper and find something else. But the biggest turning point in your eyes, from your lens, from your perspective, game 1, the biggest turning point tonight was when and why?
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, the home run is a good place you could go, but I think I'm going to go towards that pickoff that Griffin Jacks had with Ty France to nail out. I believe it was Garcia who was the runner. Obviously, they mentioned on the TV broadcast, legged out the infield hit, and he's a threat on the bases. Kansas City Royals are a team that loves to steal bases, and for them to pick him off and just take that completely off the board in that late stages, like you said, the bullpen doing their job today, and obviously that pickoff really helping out. And for a bullpen that's been maligned for their fielding, and for good reason, we got to give them props when they do something good too. That was a really nice pickoff play at a really important time.
Yeah, 100%.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right, you managed to go deep dive on that one. You stayed away from the obvious choice. Can you do it 2 times in a row? Your game MVP from tonight, CJ. Who is it and why?
I mean, you could give it to the bullpen, but I mean, when you hit your first career walk-off home run, you got to give it to Ty France. And look, after the first 2 games of the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals, the French really needed something to pick them up. So Ty France, I think Ty France deserves this one.
Yep, well said there. Plenty more deep dive nerdy stat of the day. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to us by FanDuel. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official sportsbook partner of the MLB. Right now, FanDuel is giving you a chance at a huge return, $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. Why I love FanDuel, when you get the hunch in the middle of the game, you can go check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play, all on the same page where you place your bets. Again, $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 bet. Go check it all out over at FanDuel.com. Getting some MLB future action while you're there. Twins were like plus 270 about 3 weeks ago to win the AL Central. They are down to plus 150 right now to win this AL Central. It's all sitting up over at FanDuel.com. Again, check it all out over at FanDuel.com and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the MLB. Okay, CJ, nerdy stat of the daytime. Any crazy stat or fun analytic tonight? What do you got tonight laid on us?
Well, remember, we talked about, especially in the first month of the season, how the Twins were really bad in one-run games. Well, over the course of the winning streak and just over the course of now the last month of the season, the Twins coming into today's game were 6-6 in one-run games. Make that now 7-6. Who would have thought a month ago we'd be talking about the Twins having a winning record in one-run games? And they got it right now, thanks to, well, I suppose today technically wasn't the one-run game, but they came in 6-6. So they were 6-6 in one-run games. Got a little excited there, but still, the fact that they've been able to claw their way back to 500 in one-run games, just really huge for what this team needs to do. Because with the pitching staff they have, they don't have to do much to be able to try and win some of these games.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Again, I just can't say that. It's just amazing. 15-2 in their last 17 now. What's the water cooler talk, at work? What's the Twins group chats texting about when you look at the AL Central? Obviously, you're playing a division rival this series with the Royals. Just got done playing the Guardians. One of those got rained out, but nonetheless, the AL Central, where this Twins team lands, I guess, in that grouping. And again, just the hot streak that they've been on these last 17 games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously what people will be talking about will be that Ty France home run and in terms of just the singular game. But yeah, exactly. In terms of it's now picking up a little bit. This Twins team, like we said, has been playing really well at Target Field over the last month. And overall, I think really what people are kind of buying in on now is, does that mean that Target Field is going to be full every single day? No, but we talked about how dreadful the attendance was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. And
the message was, we'll show up if you win. And they're winning, and not that Target Field again was packed today, but you definitely saw the weather's nicer. I mean, nicer than it was earlier in the week. It's Memorial Day weekend. The Twins are buzzing, and especially against a division rival in Kansas City, somebody who has Bobby Witt Jr., to see the ballpark start to kind of pick up a little bit. You started to sense that crowd a little bit more. I think people are starting to warm up to the Twins here as the summer rolls around, which is exactly what you want, kind of to build that ballpark atmosphere.
Any injury updates you can catch us up on? Any roster moves as of late? You and I haven't talked in a couple nights. I know there's been, just in general, always throughout the MLB long gauntlet season, there's a lot of shuffling in and out. We'll talk about Zebby Matthews' second start, game 2 preview in the final segment. But any injury updates you can catch us on, or roster moves?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Byron Buxton's still waiting to come off of the concussion list. Now, Buxton, somebody who's had concussions before in his career, so they're obviously taking a little, you just got to be a little more, you got to scrutinize it a little more. You got to be able to watch that with Buxton before he comes back off the list. Plus, he was put on there a couple days later than Correa, so kind of watch out for Byron Buxton. Could make his return any day, could linger around there maybe a couple days longer than we think. But also Matt Wallner has been making his rehab appearances in St. Paul, has been absolutely crushing it over there. So it's only a matter of time before we see Matt Wallner thrust back into the Twins lineup. And the Twins hit 2 home runs today, starting to find the power swing back. The weather's starting to warm up. Be a perfect time to add Matt Wallner into this lineup.
All things coming up. Minnesota Twins right now. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 preview coming up. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode also brought to us by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 10 million members to date. For me, my money is just by far the easiest, most exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports and you watch your favorite players. So simple, too. All you got to do, you pick more or less on 2 or more players' stats. Watch the winnings roll in. Strikeouts, RBIs, home runs, stolen bases, you name it, they got it. Take your pick on more or less. Add them to your Prize Picks entry today. Plus, they now offer Apple Pay, quick and easy deposits into your account all season long. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 instantly with any $5 wager. All right, game 2 tomorrow. Zebby Matthews coming back up in the rotation. A little rusty, got a little banged up last week, his last start, I should say. What's the number one thing you're just thinking about or looking at as the Twins try to stay hot here in game 2?
Yeah, I mean, with Zebby Matthews, it's going to be his command. Remember when he pitched back in Milwaukee last week and the streak was snapped, had 3 walks in a row to walk the bases full. Zebby Matthews is a guy that characteristically does not walk people. So it'll be interesting to see if, again, you make that first start of the year in the major leagues. Maybe you're nibbling a little bit, you're whatever. So it'll be really interesting to see if Zebby Matthews, again, if he has got walk problems like that 2 times in a row, and by mean he just throws 3 walks in the game, not just 3 walks in an inning, things will feel kind of weird. He is a guy that likes to attack the strike zone. And for Zebby Matthews against the Royals team that outside of Bobby Witt Jr. has not really been able to generate a ton of offense, I mean, really expect him to attack the strike zone and try and get ahead of these Royals hitters. And I mean, hopefully it ends up being a good start for Matthews if he can just avoid that, because he got into trouble in that inning because he walked the bases full and it kind of spiraled out of control. Outside of that, he had a good start. So if he can just attack the strike zone and avoid stringing walks together, he's going to be in a really good spot.
What else is going on around the league as we wrap up here? Almost 2 months into the season, a little bit bigger sample size now, but still a long way to go. What's just surprised you the most or caught your attention? Maybe, one for good and one for bad. It could be a specific team, a specific player, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, the bad is we expected the White Sox to be bad, but my goodness, the Colorado Rockies have like 8 wins all season long. Basically, it's equated to 1 win a week. We've been playing the season for 2 months, and the Denver Broncos have more wins than the Colorado Rockies. That's the insane part. We knew they weren't going to be good. We know that they're a franchise that, they're fun. It looks like a fun vibe at Coors Field, but the baseball is bad. They got sued by a fan because he got hit with the foul ball because, quote, the crowd isn't even paying attention to the games, is what he said in the lawsuit. So that's kind of the bad part that surprised me. Not that they're bad, but just how bad they are.
Yeah.
To be worse.
Historically bad. It's one thing to be bad. It's another thing to be historically bad. Right?
Worst record through the first 50 games of a season since 1901. That is not bad. That is not good at all. And in terms of kind of the teams that are good, that are surprising, I talked about it before, but I just can't believe the Detroit Tigers have the best record in baseball. That part still surprised me, which, in my fan mind, trying to make it make sense is that they're going to fall back down to earth eventually, but you got to give them credit. They've been playing really good baseball and are proving kind of that run that they made at the end of last year wasn't a fluke, and that they've kind of felt like they've turned the corner as a franchise that they've been doing now for like almost a decade.
How are they doing it? Pitching, hitting, young guys, veterans. What's the secret sauce over there in Detroit right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have a couple really nice pitchers at the top of their rotation, and that's really kind of what's guided them as well. They've gotten some kind of hitters that have played for lack of a better term, swung above their weight a little bit. They're well managed with AJ Hinch, who of course was the former Astros manager. It just kind of just felt like everything's kind of came together for them this year. And again, I'm trying to rationalize it. I think they'll come back down to earth at some point, but until proven otherwise, they've been the team to beat in the American League.
33-19, an MLB best. They have lost 2 in a row. They have lost 2 straight. So
there we go. It's already started.
Maybe they're starting to cool down just a little bit here. Twins take game 1 versus KC, thanks to a walk-off homer by Ty France. 28-22 now on the year. Huge shout out to all you guys, all the everydayers out there that always make us your first listen. All you guys coming in the chat with us from game to game. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go check out all CJ's work at BombCJ30, plus all the work he's always putting up over at ZoneCoverageMN.com as well. Luke Imman on X at Luke_Spimman. Again, game 2 tomorrow, 1:10, first pitch. Sebby Matthews on the mound. We'll catch you right here, same time, same place. Until then, signing out.